What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Daniel checking back in with a new video. And I never wanted to work a real job. I never wanted to have to work all my life only to enjoy the golden years, they call it. I don't know why they call it that, but it seems like a jip. You have to work your whole life just to enjoy a few years, even if only if you make it. I mean, because it seems like a psyop. Like they trick you. Oh yeah, you work your whole life, and then you live comfortably, or you live a decent life, and you can have a few things and retire. But it seems like retirement is getting harder to do and out of the question, because it's harder to save money, and then it's harder to survive. It's even harder to find a job nowadays. So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense anymore. Maybe it was true at one time. It was a lot more practical to have a job and then be able to retire one day. But they took all the good things away from work, like the pensions, the unions, the guaranteed, security and job security, and the benefits, and the per diems, and all the extra bonuses, the yearly bonuses they used to have. So it's lost its lackluster. It's lost a lot of the fruits that come with work. They stripped it of a lot of its goodness. And I never wanted to work a job my whole life. It just looked kind of unattractive in a way. Like you just kind of like a slave type thing. You just go and do and be miserable and not get any gratification out of and satisfaction from doing it. It just seems grueling, a monotonous thing that just causes you to become lame in a way. And I watched my mom do it her whole life, so it was very unappealing to watch my mom to have to, struggle and scrape to get by just to provide, and watch her struggle and slowly become more and more tired and beat down by it, and suffer from it with injuries, and then having to give up and become disabled and not be able to do it anymore. And just, it was depressing and sad to watch, and not it made it look more uninviting, let's say. I don't want to bash it too much, but she had to work, menial labor jobs. And so I didn't want to do it, and I think I rebelled against it for as long as I could. I tried to cheat the system and do drugs and escape my fate somehow, become numb to it, and sell drugs and just anything, then submit and rebel against this system. But it's almost like no matter what you do, you have to submit. You have to have money. to provide these things and to get money, you have to work. And no matter what you do or try, you always come back to having to work. You can't not work. You have to have a place to live and provide food. So it's almost like it's a catch-22. You cannot avoid it. You're stuck no matter what you do. And so you become bitter and stuck in this rat race, trying to figure out a better place to move to or a better position to move into to make better money, for the possibility to escape even. And then you have some hope that you might be able to get to a better position or a better job or a better opportunity somehow. But you feel stuck, like there's no way out, there's no alternative. We don't have, you can't just stop working. You can't just move far away. You can't just go anywhere without money, and you can't do a lot of things without working. So we don't have a lot of choices. We can't just choose to stop, and you have to do something. And a lot of the things, the side hustles and stuff, they don't provide enough. If you unless you're lucky, if you get into something, you find an opportunity, you might get lucky and make a bunch of money by selling a product or something, or starting a business that takes off. But a lot of the businesses that people do are just glorified jobs. It's just a job you have to work. You might make decent money doing it, but you are putting in lots of work too. And I think I did it for a little while. I tried to do that, and it was just a glorified side hustle that didn't really get me anywhere that good. It was like a side hustle because the income wasn't great. It wasn't enough for me to live on. Never became that. Never became enough, and I was always wasting time. I worked more than a regular job. I think I worked all day, every day for weeks and months, and trying to find a way to make more money. So it's almost like you could trade a job for a side hustle, but there are opportunities, I guess, you can find that you can make enough money. But a lot of those work for yourself things are just jobs. People that work for themselves, it's a little more freedom because you get to be your own boss. But a lot of the people are making about the same amount of money and working the same amount of hours, if not more. So I kind of seen it for what it is. It's like you could go out and start these businesses and you can do all this work, but you think about it, it's just the same amount of work for this, almost the same amount of pay, unless you get really lucky and start a business and hire people. So you can't escape the rat race that easy. It's almost like we're in the rat race no matter what. Like, no matter what we do, especially if you're born into families with not a lot, families that don't have a lot to provide and give you the extra footing. opportunities to achieve more. And I was born into a lower class, poor family. And they didn't know, they were just survivors. I want to say they just survived. They didn't ever have anything. They didn't have a lot. My mom used to say, what did she say? We might have less than, but we're not poor. We might, like, she tried to downplay it, but we were pretty poor. We were pretty poor. We didn't have a lot. We struggled a long time. I remember powdered milk and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and Kool-Aid and ramen noodle soups and stuff. Like, we had the bare minimum for a long time. Like, we rode the bus, like the city bus, like type. Without power, and we struggled a lot. We had to walk a lot of places and didn't have a car for a long time. So it was rough. It was rough growing up. It was really kind of rough. And I think that might have left the mark on me somehow and made me want to escape, because I've seen it my whole life, and how miserable like existence it really is to struggle and be struggling your whole life working a job. And I think I rebelled in my teenage years by doing drugs and trying to do the counterculture thing and embrace like this rebel outcast type of persona that the movies, glamorize or hype up to be kind of, like the hippie wild child or whatever. But it wasn't a healthy way of living. It wasn't good for anybody. It wasn't good for me. It was just a way to escape and try to live a different type of life. And I had to come back down to reality. And eventually, I think it went on for so long that I got sick and tired of trying to run away from the thing we all have to face in reality, and work and growing up and doing what's needed to survive, to try to find your way to plot your way through life, to find a meaningful life, to give it more meaning, and to find some kind of happiness or peace of mind, something that I could kind of be comfortable doing. And then I wandered around for a long time and working odd jobs in different places. So it's funny because they say a lot of the work we do now, it would never feel right, because if somebody does something all the time for days and days on end, it's gonna become like a miserable undertaking or whatever. gonna become miserable to do any kind of work. So I think I wanted to find the middle ground, the place, where I could find something just to survive and not be too miserable. not be out here doing backbreaking work. I've been too old to be out there doing that type of work. I mean, nothing against them people. More power to you. I'm trying to move away from the hard labor, and that's part of why I found trucking. And I thought it'd be a lot better, but it's still kind of rough. It's pretty rough. Being alive, but it's a lot better than a lot of other things out there, like construction work and warehouse work or restaurant work. I've been in all those places, and I didn't see myself trying to do that for too long. But I didn't have a lot of opportunities. I didn't have a lot of people pointing me in the right direction, and for a long time I just rebelled against everything, and I didn't listen to people either. So partly my fault. Might be a big part of it. Might be a big part of it. I didn't try hard enough to go after the type of work that like, or find some type of work that I could do and be happy doing. But working a 9 to 5 seems kind of insane nowadays. You're doing the same thing over and over, expecting better results. It's like the definition of insanity almost, but you have to find a middle ground somewhere in there. I think you have to lower your expectations to meet your needs too. We don't have a choice. We have to survive. So there's that part of it too. You have to survive, but there's no escaping the work. You have to work. You have to do something for work to survive. There's no alternative lifestyles to go to leave modern day work to survive and be, the counterculture almost. I can see people trying it a lot, but it just seems like nothing works, and you have to submit. You have to figure out something. I've been thinking about this, like a way. If there's, I want a way out. I'm still thinking about it. Like, I want something better than this. Like, I don't want to work all day long every day. I don't want to do it. I can see some people have done it. They've escaped and they make lots of money, and so it gives me some hope. But I'm scared I'm gonna get stuck here and become more and more miserable slowly. So that's another thing that kind of drives you too, to try to push to be more, to do more, and then you become tired of trying so hard, and you don't know what to do. So I'm hoping I'll find a way out of this mess, because it feels so discouraging after so much time not getting what I really want, and to be able to be more free and have more freedom to enjoy life and do more fun things, like go on vacations and have a couple more nice things. But what's the alternative of work if you don't have enough money to make choices, if you don't invest right, if you don't, if if you're not blessed with inherited house or money. What is the alternative? There's no alternative. If you have to work, if you're lower class or you're a poor person, you gotta find a way to make it out. And it's not gonna be easy, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna keep trying. I think I've got a plan, but it seemed like a lot of things didn't work out that I had planned. And I don't know. I gotta go back to the drawing board and try to figure it out. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't want to be here. I don't want to be working another 10 years. That's for sure. And I can kind of see some potential in trucking to make big money, which is kind of cool, which is kind of giving me hope. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.